It is going live, and hey, this is another late night episode of the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. It is 8:24 p.m. And this is our 316th episode. With some weird graphic coming off the screen. Oh well. Hey, I hope the microphone's working. I kind of moved it away a little bit, turned it down a little bit because it was kind of high on the pickup. So we'll see how that goes. It's all plugged in. It's turned on. Looks like it's turned on. I hope it's got power. We'll see how it works. It might be really quiet. Anyway, so yeah, it's not 5:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning for the show. Sorry about that. It's a little bit later. Been up to like 2 o'clock in the morning every night, just watching to see if people are walking down the street causing trouble. I don't know if they're answering 911 calls, if you do it or not, because someone told me, yeah, they're not picking up the 911 calls either because they're just so inundated. Though someone got shot down the street from my house, a couple blocks away, but he was breaking into a gun store. It's like, feel bad. It's like, you don't break into a gun store. It's like crazy, especially during looting and stuff like that, because you know the owner of the store is in the building with the guns and probably going to shoot you. So the person who did that, I feel sorry for everybody for having to do that, but rather not have hundreds of guns on the street. But we're not here to talk about that stuff. Though I'll try to do it in the morning tomorrow and be up. I don't know. I think it's going to be a late night because there's a lot of rumors going on about stuff going on. And if you watch the Fox News with the Target store and all, yeah, that's my neighborhood. That's just down the street. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? It might go crazy. Anyway, we're here to talk about Scrum and Agile. And the topic I wanted to talk about tonight was I had written my book, Scrum Value and Respect. And there's lots of forms of respect. And I think we've talked about them many times as we went. And there's being respectful of people, not insulting them, and being a professional level. I think in my coaching agreement that I have with everybody, I put a thing about being respectful, which means you don't call names, you don't get all non-professional, keep everything at the high level when you do your coaching engagement. It's not a bitch session. It's not high school. It's not where things like that. But that's in the coaching session. But I would say respect from a team and a Scrum point of view is that you got to respect everybody's angle, what they come from. Like if you're a developer, you can't say, well, you're a tester, you don't know anything. If you're a tester, and you can't say you're a developer, you don't know nothing. That's not being respectful. When people bring their ideas or thoughts or inputs on the table, you have to be respectful and listen to what they do. And that's how you become more productive as a team and provide more value. So that's one. And also, we always talk about time management a lot. There's a lot about respecting other people's time. Some people have meetings at different times and they just fill the time slot up. Is that being respectful? No, you're not respecting the other person's time. Coming in late to ceremonies or meetings, that's not being respectful, right? So those are the kind of things that respecting other people's time, respecting other people, respecting their ideas, what they have, who they are, what they bring to the table. And this is going to be a short one, but that's part of the thing I think about from a respect value perspective. And again, just as simple stuff as practical. Now, I want to say this. Don't go saying someone's being disrespectful because they're late to the daily scrum or late to the meeting. When you build your norms, establish when that really is. Most of my teams, when I do a daily scrum, and they say, hey, it's going to be 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock or whatever, we all say, are we having other meetings? Do we want to do it exactly at 8? Or does it want to be like 8:02, right? And we all agree, gives us some time to get out of the old meeting, get into the new one, and be ready to have our daily scrum. Because you got 15 minutes. It's okay. But if you set things for failure, and then you say, hey, you're not being respectful because you're not coming on time, because I just declared what time we were going to start as a team versus going as a team and coming in together on what that should be, then that's not respectful. That's not respecting them as a person. That is you just dictating something, and then you're going to blame them for not being respectful of the time. you got to make sure everybody's in agreement, and you got to make sure they're okay. And watch out for that as a Scrum Master. If you notice people getting late to the meetings, do you need to change the team norm so that the meetings readjust a little bit to account for something that may not have been accounted for 6 months ago, right? So these are the kind of things you do, but you can't blame them and say, hey, you're being disrespectful because you're not coming to meetings on time and things like that. You really should, as a team and as a facilitator, Scrum Master, coach, find out, or a teammate, there's nothing wrong with it. You don't need a Scrum Master to do this. This is just being a good teammate. Like, are you, why can't, what's going on? Why aren't you making 2 daily Scrum past couple weeks? Do we need to change the time? Because I'm fine with that if we need to, right? So that's just something to think about. Please be respectful. I mean, we hear about a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people disrespecting everybody else's properties here in the States. Things going crazy here in Philly. But this, when you have those debates and those discussions, and you may not totally disagree with what their thoughts are, just say, I respect. Well, thank you for thank you for sharing, and I respect what they have to share. Do it again, and one day, in your mind, you might think, oh, that was a really good idea. But if you shut them down and don't respect it, they will never share. So you always got to be open for that to happen. And I got to make sure I turn off my phone, because any second now, the warning will come up. It'll probably make it through the phone anyhow, saying that we're under curfew, because at 8:30 is supposed to be a curfew. So I wish you all safety, happiness, happy scrumming. I hope you all do well. I will try to get up in the morning and do it. I have no guarantees, because if I'm up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning again, I am not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do the show. But I do want to share stuff, and there's lots of things going on. I did share earlier the makeup our podcast. I mean, it's like it's growing. I mean, a little growth. It's not like ginormous, not like Eddie's video, who's probably got, I don't know, I haven't even checked on it lately. I don't know, it's got 6 million views or something like that. It's crazy. So not that. But we got a couple people in a lot of different countries around the world listening to the podcast. So I'm kind of shocked, because I just do it in English. So I wonder if there's a conversion or something on the podcast. Anyway, I thank you all for helping to grow the channel. And hopefully this weekend, things calm down, back to normal. Life will be back to normal. We'll see. But take care, you all. Goodbye. Ring the little bell and take care. Bye.